Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name's Natalie and I do videos on handbag reviews, unboxings, a bit of luxury eye candy, so if you're into any of those, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you back. So in today's video, I thought I'd do a little sit down chit chat video on my luxury wish list for 2020. So I've got a few items on my wish list that I want to go through with you today. And I just want to say I've been really lucky enough to tick off 2 items off my wish list. So my wish list has changed a little bit, but the 2 items that I managed to tick off this year are the Louis Vuitton Palm Springs mini backpack and also the Cartier Love bracelet in the small size. So I've done videos on both of these items, so check them out if you haven't already. So yeah, I've been really lucky enough to tick those 2 items off my wish list. The other things on my wish list, you'll notice that I actually don't have that many bags. I only have 1 bag on my wish list, and if you've seen my previous video on my handbag collection, you'll know that I've reached purse piece. After purchasing my Louis Vuitton Palm Springs mini backpack, I feel like I've got a really good selection of handbags to choose from, and I've got one to suit every single occasion, so I feel like there's no real need for me to purchase a new handbag. I'm really content with my collection. There is just one bag in my wish list. It's a bag that I already have in my collection, just in a different color. It's not high on my wish list, but it's something that I do eventually want to get down the track in a few years time, not anytime soon, but I just wanted to throw that out there and let you know. So you notice that I've shuffled over a little bit just so I can insert some photos here for you of the items that I'm talking about, just for a bit of eye candy. Obviously I don't have the items, so I can't physically show you anything. So yeah, I'll just insert the photos of the items that I'm talking about here. So the first item on my wish list is the Cartier Justin Cleef ring in the thin size in 18 karat yellow gold. And that's just to match my Cartier Love wedding band ring. This is also in 18 karat yellow gold. And I want to be able to just stack it or wear it together with this ring. So I prefer the thinner size because, as you know, I do prefer daintier pieces. And the Justin Cleef thin size is just really nice, really elegant and dainty. I feel like the regular size is a bit too thick on my fingers, and it's a really big statement piece, whereas I like more subtle pieces. It's already a statement piece in itself just because of that nail head design, and it's really unique. So I feel like just the subtle thin version of it's really nice. I will also throw out there that the Justin Cleef thin bracelet was also on my wish list at one stage, but I've taken it off just because I'm a bit concerned that the nail of the bracelet, I have heard people say here and there that because the end of the bracelet is the end of a nail, it can get kind of caught on jumpers and kind of snag things, and that just kind of worries me a little bit because I'm already quite clumsy as it is, and if I'm putting on my jumper or taking my jumper off, I don't want it to get caught on the nail part and kind of rip a hole in my jumper, and I just worry about that. So I don't know if that's a huge issue, but that's something I've heard here and there. Let me know if you guys have the Justin Cleef bracelet in the thin or the regular size. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be really curious and interested to know if it does. But yeah, as for now, the Justin Cleef ring in the thin size is on my wish list. So the second item on my wish list is the Van Cleef & Arpels Mother of Pearl Sweet Alhambra bracelet. So I was eyeing that piece late last year, and I was tossing up between getting that or my Cartier Love bracelet when I heard that there was a price increase coming up. But at the end of the day, I decided to go with my Cartier Love bracelet just because I've been wanting it for so much longer. I've been wanting it for a few years, and it is a lot more expensive. So I figured the price increase on this bracelet would be a lot more compared to the Van Cleef & Arpels Sweet Alhambra bracelet. So I decided to get this, and I don't regret it at all, but that Sweet Alhambra bracelet is still on my wish list. It's just so dainty, it's so pretty. So if you've seen in some of my previous videos, I do have a couple of mother of pearl rings, and I just love the way it looks. It's kind of that holographic look. It's very iridescent, very shiny. I love white, so I just think mother of pearl is really pretty. I know it is a very small and dainty piece, but that's what I love about it, and it would look amazing just stacked with my small Cartier Love bracelet. So I eventually want to get that at one stage. So the next item on my wish list is the bag that I was talking about earlier. It's a bag that I already have, and it's something that I don't need, but I just really like the color of. The bag that I'm talking about is the Chanel medium large classic flap in the beige Claire color in the silver hardware and caviar leather. So as you'll see, I already have my medium large classic flap in the gold hardware in caviar leather, and I really want the medium large classic flap in the beige clair in silver hardware, just to kind of differentiate them, make them a little bit different. I also have my mini, but I won't categorize that as being similar bags just because of the shape. It's a completely different style. You can wear it crossbody, over the shoulder, whereas this one's more of like a nighttime bag. It's very elegant, very timeless, and it's more of an evening out bag. So with the beige clair, I just love that caramel camel color, and it's so Chanel. The black and gold is very Chanel, but the beige clair is also Chanel. It's part of the classic collection and classic range. The color's been around for ages, and there's just something about it. And I specifically want the beige clair with the silver hardware in the medium large classic flap, just because it gives it a lot more of a younger, fresh look to it. I feel like with the gold hardware, it's very mature looking, and I feel like it would just be a lot harder to style. I feel like with the silver hardware, you could wear it casually with jeans. Don't get me wrong, you could still wear the classic flap with gold hardware casually, so just with jeans, but I feel like it just kind of elevates that look a bit more just with the gold hardware. It makes it look a bit more fancy and dressed up. So that's something I don't want with the beige clair, because I feel like the beige clair is already quite elegant, quite classy, and with the added gold hardware, it just makes it look really mature and more for special occasions. Whereas with the silver hardware, I could easily just dress it down if I wanted to, just wear it with jeans and runners and a t-shirt. And I was at one point thinking of getting the small classic flap just to kind of differentiate between my collection. So I've got the mini, and then I would have the small beige clair, and then my medium large classic flap. But I figure the price difference isn't that much between the small classic flap and the medium large classic flap, and you can fit a lot more in the medium large classic flap. So I figured I would get the same size, but since it's a different color, it'll look a lot different. So that's my justification for it. And as I said, it's not something that I want anytime soon. It's just something on my wish list, and something that I hope to achieve down the track in a few years' time. So the last few items on my wish list are from the one and only Louis Vuitton. There's no surprise there. If you've been to my channel before, if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that I love Louis Vuitton. I have so many of their pieces, and it was actually the first designer house that I purchased from. Louis Vuitton will always have a special spot in my heart, and I'll always love their pieces. They're just so versatile, so functional, so hard wearing and affordable, in my opinion. Compared to some of the other brands like Chanel, Hermes, Louis Vuitton is a much more affordable place to start your collection if you're looking at starting or adding little bits and pieces to it. They have a wide variety of different types of bags and prints. They've got canvas, leather. So yeah, the next few items are from Louis Vuitton. So the first thing I've been eyeing is nothing in particular, but it's just the print that I really want to add to my collection, and that's the Damier Azur print. So the white and grey or blue checkered print pattern from Louis Vuitton. So just in the canvas piece, there's something recently that has drawn me to the Damier Azur print. It's just something so fresh. I have a lot of the Damier bean pieces and a few of the monogram pieces. So adding that bit of splash of light canvas into my collection would be really nice. So a few of the items that I've been eyeing in the Damier Azur print are the key pouch, the mini pochette, and the pochette accessoire. So I wouldn't mind getting any of those, but as you know, if you know Louis Vuitton, those items are so hard to come by right now. No one can get their hands on them. They're so rare, and on the resale market, they're just so expensive. They're so much more than retail price. It's just, yeah, something that you can't really get your hands on right now. So adding any of those pieces would be really great to my collection. Kind of leaning more towards the pochette accessoire, just because I don't have that bag or SLG at all in my collection. And the way I intend to use the pochette accessoire is as a crossbody bag. So I have a vachetta strap that I've purchased from Organize My Bag, and that will go nicely with it. So I'll just wear that crossbody. In Australia, we are in spring now, moving on to summer. I think it would just make a really nice spring summer bag, something light and fresh that I could wear with dresses or jeans or shorts, just anything, just bright and fun. But yeah, that's one of the items or prints that are on my wish list at the moment. So the next item from Louis Vuitton is the cosmetic pouch in the PM size. So I'd really like this in the monogram canvas. And this has been on my wish list on and off for a few years. I've never been able to pull the trigger on it just because I'm not sure how I would wear over time, just because you are putting makeup in it. I know it is wipeable lining inside, but I feel like over time it'll just get really quite grubby and a bit gross. So I'm not too sure about that. And also the corners, they're quite, I don't know how to describe it, but if you've seen them, they're quite sharp. The corners are very like right angled and they're quite sharp. So I just worry throwing that in my bag all the time, would that kind of get scuffed up and the canvas would wear really quickly over time. So that's why I've never really pulled the trigger on it. It is still on my wish list because I think it's really pretty, it's really feminine, and it's just something you could easily just display on your vanity, and it's also functional too. You could just pop it in your bag and put your makeup and take it on the go. So that's something on my wish list, but it's not high on my wish list. The next item on my wish list from Louis Vuitton is the Agenda in the medium size. So this is also something that's been on my wish list on and off over the years. And I think more recently I've been thinking about it because I have been planning a lot more, writing things down. I'm really old school in that I love writing things down. I love ticking things off physically, and just it's really satisfying just crossing something off your to-do list. And so I'm old school in that way, and that's where I think it'll come in handy. Of course, I don't need it because it's just something luxury. Like what things on this list do I really need? Nothing. But it's just something that I think would be really nice just to have and make me happy to plan, especially now that I'm doing YouTube. I like to plan out my videos. So yeah, I think that's a really nice thing to add to my collection. It would be a really nice thing to add to my collection, but the price of it has just gone up so much. I don't know if I can justify it anymore. It's in Australia, it's I think $895, so that's ridiculous for just like a planner book, and not even with any pages. I think the Louis Vuitton paper inserts are like $170, which is ridiculous for just paper. I have looked on the pre-loved market as well, but the prices on the pre-loved market is almost the same as buying it brand new, so I think I'd prefer to buy it brand new. I don't know if I'll pull the trigger on that, but it's something that's been on my wish list, and I'll just keep it there for now. So the very last item on my wish list, and from Louis Vuitton, is the Louis Vuitton scarf. I can't remember the exact name for it, but it is the cashmere one, and I really want it in the sandy camel color. So this was something that I've only seen recently, and it's only recently been added to my wish list, and it's just so pretty. Like, I could easily see it sitting on my chair just as decor, but also because it is 100% cashmere, it would just be really nice to wear during winter. I know in Australia we've just left winter behind us, we're moving into spring now, but I think eventually in the future, maybe next year, I'd like to add this scarf to my collection. It just looks so nice, and it's very subtle. Like, you could just easily just bunch it up and you wouldn't really know it's Louis Vuitton, or you could just display it out and it just looks really pretty. I've seen a few people with it already on Instagram and Pinterest, and I think it just looks so nice. I was eyeing the Logo Mania scarf from Louis Vuitton at one stage, but I decided not to go down that route because I heard that it does get snagged quite easily. The print is also very in your face too. I mean, the cashmere one is also in your face, but I feel like it's not as in your face. Like, you could easily just bunch it up, and because it is so big, you could kind of wear it as a shawl, kind of over your shoulders, or it's just something more versatile, and it's not something that everyone has. I feel like a lot of people have the Logo Mania scarf. It's been around for quite a while. You don't really see the cashmere one around too much, so that's why I really like it. So yeah, that's the very last thing on my wish list. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any of these items on your wish list, or if you have them already, let me know your thoughts on them and whether or not you think they're worth it. But that's all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and join me for future videos. But until then, I'll see you next time. Bye!